In the lush hills of Jamaica lies a story of resistance, survival, and pride. A story that has been passed down through generations. It is the story of the Maroons, a group who fought for their freedom and created a unique identity amidst the harshest conditions. The Maroons of Jamaica are not just a footnote in history, they are the authors of their own enduring legacy. From the dense forests of the cockpit country to modern day courtrooms and environmental battlegrounds, the Maroons have maintained their sovereignty, culture, and commitment to protecting the land that has sheltered them for centuries. But who are these people? And why do their struggles continue to echo in modern Jamaica? Let's explore the legacy of the Maroons, their vital role in preserving the cockpit country, and the ongoing conflict that threatens their way of life. What is the true significance of their history and heritage? And how does it shape Jamaica we know today? Their story began in the early 16th century, when the Spanish first brought enslaved Africans to Jamaica. As the British took control of the island in 1655, these enslaved people seized the opportunity to escape into the hills and mountains of Jamaica. There they formed independent communities known as Maroons. Maroon is from a Spanish word meaning wild or untamed. These runaway slaves, alongside the remaining Taino people, established a distinct society, blending African traditions with indigenous influences. Over time, the Maroons became formidable warriors, masters of guerrilla warfare, using the dense impenetrable forest to their advantage. Their deep knowledge of the land and fierce determination helped them resist the British colonial forces for over 80 years. This period of conflict led to the First Maroon War, where the Maroons, led by legendary leaders like Kojo and Nani of the Maroons, waged a successful guerrilla campaign against the British. Their resistance was so effective that it forced the British to negotiate peace treaties, marking a rare achievement in a world dominated by slavery. The treaty signed in 1739 granted the Maroons their freedom, autonomy over their lands, and a recognized sovereignty within Jamaica. What did this hard-won autonomy mean for the Maroons? And how have they maintained their sovereignty over the centuries? The Maroon Treaty of 1739 marked the beginning of a unique chapter in Jamaican history. These groundbreaking agreements, particularly the one signed by the legendary leader Kojo, granted the Maroons land and a degree of self-governance that was unprecedented in colonial Caribbean. In exchange for their autonomy and control over areas like the cockpit country, the Maroons agreed to assist the British in capturing runaway slaves and maintaining order. Despite the uneasy nature of this agreement, the Maroons have successfully preserved their cultural identity and way of life for centuries. Today, the Maroon communities of Accompong, Moortown, Scotsall, and Charlestown continue to retain a degree of sovereignty. They operate under their own system of governance, led by elected leaders known as colonels, who are responsible for upholding the Maroon laws. The Maroon laws are a blend of traditional African customs and elements of the Jamaican law. This legal recognition and steadfast adherence to their tradition have allowed the Maroons to protect their culture, language, and heritage. Though technically subjects of the Jamaican state, the Maroons have always seen themselves as separate and sovereign people. This dual identity has enabled them to maintain a way of life that has endured for generations while also navigating the complexities of modern Jamaican society. Who is leading the Maroons today? And what challenges are they facing in the fight to protect their land and rights? At the forefront of the Maroons' battle for rights and environmental preservation is their current leader, Richard Curry. He was elected in 2021. Charismatic and outspoken, Colonel Curry has become a vocal advocate for Maroon sovereignty and protection of their ancestral lands, particularly the cockpit country. His leadership has brought international attention to the Maroons' ongoing struggle against the Jamaican government's attempts to encroach on their territory through mining and deforestation. Colonel Curry has consistently argued that the Maroons have a legal and moral right to defend the cockpit country, not only as their homeland but as a crucial environmental resource for all Jamaicans. Under his leadership, the Maroons have taken legal action against the government and rallied public support for their cause. His tenure has been marked by a renewed sense of Maroon identity and a determined resistance to any threat to their sovereignty. One of the most significant issues Colonel Kerr has brought to the forefront is the ongoing deforestation and mining activities sanctioned by the Jamaican government. He has also highlighted a recent incident in July 2024 in Quickstep, St. Elizabeth, where tension between the Maroons and the government escalated over actions taken by the Forestry Department. This incident has become a flashpoint in the broader conflict, solidifying the Maroons' resolve to protect their land at all costs. Leadership under Kerr is not just about resistance, it's about preserving the cultural fabric of the Maroon community. He has focused on ensuring that the Maroon traditions are maintained, particularly by educating the younger generation about their rich heritage and the importance of valuing and upholding their cultural identity. How have the Maroons' conflict with the Jamaican government shaped their identity and their future? The relationship between the Maroons and the Jamaican government has been fraught with tension since the colonial era. While the treaties in the 18th century grant the Maroons autonomy, the Jamaican state have often sought to undermine this autonomy, particularly when it comes to issues of land use and natural resources. The cockpit country, a rugged, ecologically sensitive area, has been at the center of many of these conflicts. The Maroon consider this region to be their ancestral homeland, and they have fiercely opposed any attempt to exploit its resource. In recent years, the government has issued permits for mining and logging in the cockpit country, arguing that these activities are necessary for economic development. The Maroons, however, see these actions as a direct threat to their sovereignty and to the environment. The clashes have not been limited to legal battles. In July 2024, tensions boiled over in Quickstep, St. Elizabeth when Maroons confronted the Forestry Department over what they claimed was illegal tree cutting in their territory. The incident sparked protests and brought renewed attention to the Maroons' plight. The government response was swift and heavy-handed, leading to further unrest and deepening the divide between the Maroons and the state. These conflicts have galvanized the Maroon community, reaffirming their identity as defenders of the land and protectors of Jamaican national heritage. The Maroons have also garnered support from environmental activists and human rights organizations who see their struggle as part of a broader fight against environmental degradation and the erosion of indigenous rights. What does the future hold for Maroons of Jamaica, and what lessons can we learn from their ongoing struggles? The Maroons of Jamaica stand as a powerful symbol of resistance, sovereignty, and environmental stewardship. Their history is a testament to the strength of the people who refuse to be conquered, and their present-day struggle highlight the challenges of maintaining autonomy in a rapidly changing world. As guardians of the cockpit country, the Maroons play a crucial role in preserving one of Jamaica's most important ecological regions. Their fight against deforestation and mining is not just a fight for their land, but a fight for the future of Jamaica's environment. The Maroon story is a reminder that the battle for justice and sustainability is ongoing and that the voices of those who have long been marginalized must be heard and respected. In the end, the Maroons' legacy is not just one of defiance, but of resilience and hope. As they continue to face new challenges, the Maroons offer a blueprint for how to resist, how to preserve, and how to thrive in the face of adversity. Will the Maroons' determination and the support of their allies be enough to protect their land and their way of life for future generations? The answer, like their history, is still being written.